nobody's going up there. They cannot get people.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning and welcome to the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce's annual State of the Town Address. This event, in partnership with the Town of Fountain Hills, is about celebrating our local community as we are reminded why Fountain Hills is an amazing place to live, work, and play. My name is Bill Hines. I'm the owner of the Adero Scottsdale, formerly Copperwind, and I'm the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce this year. And I'm happy to fill in for Betsy Lavoie. Many of you know Betsy. She is the CEO of the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce. And if you know her, you know nobody's probably done more during these very difficult times to reach out and represent the interests of our business community. A business community that's made up largely of residents of our town as well. So I'm proud to serve on her board as our chairman this year. Even though we are holding this event virtually, and this state of the town looks very different than it has in years past, we will soon get to hear from Mayor Ginny Dickey as she brings an informative look at everything our town was able to accomplish in 2020, as well as what 2021 may have in store for us. At this time, I would like to recognize some of the elected officials and Chamber Board of Directors that are joining us virtually for today's event. As capacity at this event was limited due to social distancing protocols, most of these individuals are watching from home, but the Fountain Hills Chamber would still like to thank them for their support. From the town, we of course have Mayor Ginny Dickey. We have Vice Mayor David Spelich and council members Jerry Friedel, Sharon Grzybowski, Alan Magazine, Peggy McMahon, and Mike Charno. Thank you to all for your public service. Next, I would like to honor the Board of Directors from the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce. Again, I serve as our chairman this year, a role that I am happy to serve. We also have Suzanne Nan of Remax Sun Properties, Brian Horvath of Wells Fargo Bank, Kim Widener of Kimberly Widener PLLC, Leanne Torkelson of SRP, Christine Cawley of Fountain Events, Bo James from the VFW Post 7507, Marita Kraya of Euro Pizza Cafe, Annette Tingy of Desert Title and Tag, Scott Schlossberg of Farmers Insurance, Scott Summer of ProSkill Services, Andrew Day from Daylight Films, Kelly Glass from the Fountain Hills Unified School District, Sherry Koss from the River of Time Museum, Lauren Stratton from the Boys and Girls Club, and Karen Weaver of Guardian Training and Consulting. Thank you to all of our board of directors for representing our business community today and for your continued support of the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce. The 2021 State of the Town Address could not be made possible without our wonderful event sponsors. The Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce would like to say thank you to the following businesses and organizations for their continued support. First, our presenting sponsor, Salt River Project, SRP. To our fountain sponsors, Goal Program, HS3 Roof King and General Contracting, Morningstar of Fountain Hills, and Tolis Mortgage Financial Group. We invite you all to continue watching immediately after the State of the Town address for the official post-show, where you will hear more from the official 2021 sponsors. Again, we couldn't do these events without their help, and we greatly appreciate it. With that being said, I would now like to introduce our presenting sponsor, and I would like to welcome Linda Brady, Government Relations for Salt River Project, to the podium as she introduces the Mayor of Fountain Hills, Mayor Ginny Dickey. Linda.
Thank you, Bill. And thanks to the great team at the Fountain Hills Chamber for offering the State of the Town address with Mayor Ginny Dickey. I'm honored to represent SRP and join you and the other chamber members for this annual event. It's been quite a year for everyone as we face the impact of COVID-19. During these challenging times, SRP has remained focused on delivering reliable, affordable, and sustainable water and power to our customers and the communities we serve so that we can help Arizona continue to grow and prosper well into the future. Like SRP, Mayor Dickey, the Town Council, and town staff has remained focused on their constituents throughout the hardships this year. Each of you have done a remarkable job focusing on ways to support businesses that are struggling financially, while at the same time providing excellent service and assistance to the town's residents. Especially now, it's very important to continue having discussions and communicating about the activities the mayor, council, and town staff are doing that will contribute to the relief, recovery, and resiliency of Fountain Hills businesses and the town. Today's State of the Town is an example of that and why SRP is pleased to be a sponsor and continued partner. With that said, I'm pleased to introduce Mayor Ginny Dickey, who will be giving her third State of the Town address. Mayor Dickey served for 8 years on the Town Council before being elected mayor in 2018 and re-elected last year in 2020. Mayor Dickey, along with her strong Town Council, continuously worked to make a wonderful community even better. Please welcome Fountain Hills Mayor Ginny Dickey.
Thank you so much. Thank you and welcome to the Fountain Hills State of the Town address. Thank you to Linda and to Zane, our wonderful singer, our staff, the Times, and the Chamber of Commerce, who, with the support of the generous sponsors, SRP, Roof King, Tolis Mortgage Financial Group, Morningstar, and Goal Agency, LLC, created this special hybrid event. Of course, I miss seeing everyone in person, and I look forward to when we can all gather together again. The state of the town is determined with an overriding theme of Fountain Hills moving forward. No doubt this has been an unusual time, full of contrasts. Many have endured unimaginable losses of family and friends, saw their livelihoods stall or even permanently come to an end. It's been difficult sometimes to maintain a positive outlook. But at the same time, we had moments of inspiration that balanced our long days, whether they were individual gestures that made us smile or large-scale programs and policies, literally saving lives and businesses. We will have memories that hold happiness and joy, affection and respect for community leaders who passed away, that we had the privilege to know as good friends and colleagues. Some things on our everyday life have been changed forever, but others will be back, familiar. They'll fall right back into place. As we anticipate the relief that we all crave from the vaccine, we will never forget the losses or the lessons. So yes, Fountain Hills is determined and grateful and ready for these better days ahead. It remains important that we mark the achievements of the past year and address upcoming goals and challenges. As has been our most recent tradition, not only will I provide perspective as your mayor, but the town manager, directors, and our professional staff will present information about their specific areas of responsibility. So with these opening remarks, let's now take a tour of our town government. I'm honored to have been re-elected as your mayor to represent the entire community. I'm driven to be open and communicative in this role, one I take very seriously. I do my best to be prepared to address the important issues of our town, whether in public meetings, at presentations, or while engaged in personal communication with those who have questions and ideas. Likewise, council members, both current and past, have been instrumental in providing strategic leadership and policy direction during this past year. I want to acknowledge the hard work of Manager Grady Miller and our staff. They all have provided innovation and dedication over the last year during very challenging times. My continued focus remains on our collective health and well-being, advocating for following COVID protocols while identifying ways to achieve some measure of progress at the same time. In hindsight, 2020 may be looked upon as an incredible example of what town government and our people can accomplish through diversity. It certainly was not what we envisioned at the last State of the Town, January 28, 2020. Familiarity with RNA, PPE, RT rates, and a cottage industry of college and company logo face masks. People are resilient. I looked back to last year's gathering where the theme was Fountain Hills is the place to be, and that we all are the best ambassadors to deliver that message. That remains true today, even more so as we emerge from this pandemic. I said then that the state of the town was engaged, encompassing our rich history and promising future. We highlighted several emphasis areas, including safety, well-managed operations and finance, development, hometown character, amenities and natural desert lifestyle, partnerships, and planning. We managed well during those difficult times. Here's my overview, then we'll see our specific departmental leadership presentations. We've grown to a town of over 25,000 residents, occupying more than 20 square miles, where more than half is zoned residential and another 25% is designated open space. Our mission statement includes terms like safety, quality of life, public service, responsive government, and excellent financial management. A big responsibility to live up to, but one we embrace. When we talk about public health and safety, there's no avoiding the impact that the pandemic has had on just about every aspect of our community. Negative physical as well as economic and social effects from feeling confined, not visiting family and friends, the typical occasions like dining out, special events and holidays, and much more have certainly taken a toll on all of us. Our community continues to navigate through these tough times. Public safety remains the top priority of council and staff. Traffic, civil rights concerns, wildfires, the ever-present virus, and several elections were regular parts of our lives in 2020. With volunteers and staff, MCSO, Fountain Hills Fire, Council, and more were all dedicated to helping us through this roller coaster year, which is greatly appreciated. Financially, be assured that the town has managed to weather some of the pandemic storm and has a balanced budget that addresses required services to ensure the town's continued growth and operation. We taxpayers zeroed out our bond indebtedness under the fiscal management of the town. We successfully applied for grants in several areas, and we're doing our best to allocate funds to the facilities and vehicle replacement programs and to maintain our assets. As you will see, we had a busy year making infrastructure and other improvements, including painting our municipal buildings, pavers on Centennial Circle, the downtown streets projects, and nearly 15 miles of additional neighborhood roads complete. But as always, we still must find ways to sustain our long-term needs, particularly roads. As to development, staff will present several important building projects and economic strides in 2020. There's no question that many businesses have suffered as a result of pandemic effects, and the town provided relief in several forms. We remain committed to regrow our local economy and identify ways to sustain that growth. Fountain Hills is host to many events and activities that provide the hometown amenities many of us enjoy. Destined to be a great year-long celebration from December 2019 through December 2020, the golden anniversary of our world-famous fountain included a variety of planned events, culminating with fun and unique celebrations in December. Unfortunately, many of those plans were COVID impacted. We did manage a few early on, including a special Pony Express delivery of congratulatory messages from Arizona mayors and more, giving us the gift of looking at our community through their eyes, filling us with appreciation. We were also the destination of Good Morning Arizona's Friday field trip, a wonderful opportunity to feature our veterans, local businesses, parks, and even Fearless Kitty. I want to thank Alan and Brent Cruikshank, Rachel Goodwin, Sandy Ursini, and the planning committee who did a stellar job maneuvering through the disrupted celebrations. Not to be deterred, they presented at the council meeting on December 15th, which is the actual 50th anniversary of the fountain, with award-winning photos, colorful surprises, chocolate, and plans for filling a time capsule, an eventual balloon glow, and a drone show, a new glass sculpture, and maybe even some fireworks. Maintaining our quality of life is a large part of the community's stated vision. From protecting our desert environment and views, emphasizing areas like Adero Canyon and the McDowell Mountain Preserve, supporting the International Dark Skies Discovery Center, to making sure our parks can be enjoyed by persons of all ages, it's important to ensure an enjoyable, healthy lifestyle. The ability to walk Fountain Hills continues to grow with the addition of new sidewalks and the urban trail system. We look for opportunities to expand programming and facilities for children, teens, seniors, everyone in between. The idea of First Fridays or similar downtown excitement got a little derailed this year, but it remains viable and desired. Projects where citizens participate are key to promoting the kind of quality of life our residents have come to know. The town has placed an emphasis on improving communication by identifying staff resources that can provide leadership in all areas of communication, from economic development to social media. We've had unprecedented media coverage presenting our beautiful community to visitors, potential residents, and businesses. The town was able to upgrade its internal technology to keep up with the communication needs and has placed an emphasis on timely response to inquiries to Town Hall. We regularly distribute to every household published information and are striving to use our website as the go-to location for important news and emergency communication. I believe this is a hallmark of good government and customer service and encourage continued improvements. From a perspective of looking forward, planning is critical. The town presented 13 projects for consideration to the extension of the Proposition 400 regional transportation needs, including roadways, transit, safety, and development projects. The strategic plan and Vision Fountain Hills continue to lay out our future goals. The town initiated the Active Transportation Plan, Parks Master Plan, and a 10-year pavement management plan. We also undertook a comprehensive analysis of Fountain Park. Despite occasional frustration with quote-unquote studies, I continue to support robust thinking and modeling that can lead our town into the future. Coordination with other entities is an important part of town government. Working with the Fountain Hills Unified School District to promote our A+ schools can be an economic development tool, helping attract families and housing options. The Mayor's Youth Council is in full swing, and we added a Student of the Month program that we're hoping to continue very soon. Building on our relationship with the Fountain Hills Sanitary District paved the way to construct 2 new restroom facilities at Fountain Park and continued our lake water discussions. Being connected to our state, municipal, county, and tribal leaders through many regional, national, and even international organizations helps us build better community and presents intriguing opportunities. I'm happy to say that all of your council members have volunteered to serve on various boards, several involved with business development and legislative advocacy. Similarly, our local chamber, clubs, and organizations strengthen our town, as does solid communication with our primary private sector suppliers like Cox, EPCOR, Republic Services, and of course our sponsor, SRP, who at a moment's notice refurbished the utility boxes around the park for our anniversary. Now let's hear from our professional staff.
The year 2020 was not a year anyone could have anticipated. Like our region, the COVID-19 pandemic affected local residents and staff alike in one form or another. While the worldwide pandemic forced many difficult decisions to be made by the town, I'm proud to say that important services and projects kept moving forward. Despite its small size and limited staffing, the town of Fountain Hills managed to safely deliver services to our residents and business customers to be as close as possible to business as usual. The town kept on schedule with critical road improvements. Studies continued, though many of our public meetings were postponed or closed to the public to help contain the spread of the virus. Even some community events were held in a different manner with an emphasis on safety. Despite the restrictions placed on many of our local restaurants, retailers, and businesses, the town's financial outlook is stable based on actual and projected revenues. While the year 2020 was not a year we had anticipated, I am proud to say that our departments and staff team not only made the best of it, but even experienced major accomplishments. Here is an overview of the amazing work accomplished by the town of Fountain Hills during the year 2020.
The global pandemic may have slowed some businesses down, but it didn't seem to slow the activities of the Development Services Department in 2020. Building permits continue to indicate a steady growth of new housing and construction projects in Fountain Hills. Since 2018, applications have grown nearly 8%, with 658 submissions. 2020 saw the construction of the Fountain Hills Medical Center, the town's first hospital, scheduled to open in the spring. The Adero Resort was completed, part of Marriott's Autograph collection of resorts. In addition, more construction of the Adero Canyon subdivision was approved. Another construction project started is the Keystone Residential Community, now called the Havenly, Fountain Hills, in the town's center area. The department processed several text amendments to the town code and zoning ordinance to allow for indoor vehicle sales, indoor climate-controlled self-storage facilities, and a planned shopping plaza overlay zoning district for the downtown area, to name just a few. 2020 saw the start of an important active transportation plan with community input via Zoom meetings. The plan's goal is to address the need for improved pedestrian and bicycle transportation modes in the town. There were 2 developer advisory forums, one held in February and another in October. These forums brought developers, contractors, and builders to Fountain Hills to learn about processes to improve working with the town and future development. In the November general election, the community supported the General Plan 2020. This document, mandated every 10 years by the state, is a roadmap for elected officials and town staff to follow when making decisions about future growth and preserving the natural beauty of the town of Fountain Hills. The Public Works Department is always on call to ensure the town's infrastructure of roads, town-owned washes, open spaces, and town facilities are secure and safe for residents and visitors. 2020 saw a steady list of planned capital projects get started and completed for the department, as well as being prepared for the unforeseen. Making improvements to the intersection of La Montana and Avenue of the Fountains has been a high priority of the town council for several years. The installation of a roundabout and related median improvements created safer pedestrian crossing points, as well as improved traffic flow at this location. Construction of the roundabout project started in early July and was completed in November. Another road improvement project recognized as a high priority for the town was the widening of the shoulder of North Fountain Hills Boulevard between North Pinto Drive and East Segundo Drive. The project was designated to help prevent future damage to the roadway caused by storm-related erosion. Initially constructed in 1988, the Panorama Drive storm drain is a 3,000-foot system that was in need of replacement. With over 30 years of corrosion and sediment buildup within the system, large leaks and ruptures were causing sinkholes along the pipeline to occur. Crews started the replacement of the 48-inch pipe in November. Road resurfacing is a never-ending project for Public Works. 2020 saw the milling, grading, and laying of new asphalt for neighborhood feeder streets and thoroughways. The annual Household Hazardous Waste Drop-Off program at Fountain Hills High School was another great success. The Town of Fountain Hills Finance Department follows the principles of sound financial management through a framework for overall fiscal planning and management. By following these principles, the town's financial health is enhanced, as well as its image and credibility with its citizens, the public in general, bond rating agencies, and investors. Following a strong financial 2019, fiscal year 2019-2020 looked to continue this trend as the new year began, not knowing what lay ahead. While the global pandemic has forced many businesses around the country, as well as Fountain Hills, to adjust their plans, the town of Fountain Hills has maintained a strong financial footing. Each year, the town develops and adopts a balanced budget based on priorities identified by citizens, council members, and town staff. This process represents numerous hours of work and dedication. The result of this hard work can be seen when comparing the budgeted and actual amounts for the town's fiscal year 2019-2020 operating revenues and expenditures. The town relies heavily on transaction privilege tax to fund operations, and this revenue can be difficult to estimate since it's dependent on sales of products and services within the town. Because of this, the town takes a conservative approach to revenue budgeting in order to ensure adequate financial resources to cover budgeted expenditures. Despite the pandemic, the town collected slightly more revenue in the operating funds than was budgeted. In addition, the town's operating expenditures were less than the amount budgeted for the fiscal year. The Town Council directed the Finance Division to review the town's development impact fees and user fees. Development impact fees are charged to developers of residential and commercial property at the time that they submit plans and pull permits. The implementation or modification of these fees is tightly regulated by Arizona Revised Statute. The purpose of these fees is to ensure that growth pays its share of infrastructure costs related to growth. The areas included in the study were fire, parks, and streets. Based on the completed study, Town Council approved the revised development impact fees in January. The town's user fees were also reviewed. This review focused on determining the actual cost of providing each of the town's services. These actual costs are then compared to the fees currently being charged for those services to ensure that adequate revenues are being recovered for service delivery costs. Results of the study were presented to Council for its consideration, and the revised fee schedule will go into effect on July 1st, 2021. The Government Finance Officers Association recognized the Town of Fountain Hills and the Finance Division by awarding the following awards. The Finance Division received its 24th consecutive Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for its comprehensive annual financial report, its 18th consecutive Distinguished Budget Presentation Award, and its 8th consecutive Popular Annual Financial Reporting Award. The Economic Development and Tourism Department continued its support of local businesses while marketing the town to attract new businesses and visitors. Though 2020 was a year of uncertainty, the town charged ahead. The pandemic and the governor's executive orders to help stop the spread of the virus had varying impacts on Fountain Hills businesses. Some were able to open, grow, or at least sustain their revenues, but many struggled during the past year. To help support our local businesses, the Town Council allocated $300,000 from the AZ CARES Act funding to the Fountain Hills Small Business Grant Program. During the pandemic, staff transitioned their primary focus to helping our businesses survive by administering the grant program and assisting in streamlining town permit processes. The application process for grant funding opened on July 1st, and all grant funding was dispersed by mid-November. Overall, 66 businesses received grant funds, helping to support nearly 260 jobs. In partnership with the Fountain Hills Unified School District and Arizona Business Advisors, the Town of Fountain Hills is excited to announce the rebranding of the former East Valley Institute of Technology facility as Biz Hub at Fountain Hills. While EVIT will no longer be using the former Four Peaks Elementary School for building career and technical education, the facility remains open for several businesses and is available for those businesses interested in leasing space for their operations. In addition, staff anticipates a co-working and incubator model for businesses and/or individuals will be implemented this year. The Economic Development Division recently produced an updated economic development profile. This marketing brochure provides an overview of the economic development and livability assets that can help attract new businesses and residents to the town of Fountain Hills. To help raise awareness of Fountain Hills as a location to start a business, visit, dine, and shop, and raise a family, the town produced a variety of marketing and advertising materials. These campaigns were not only designed to target regional audiences, but national as well. A focus during the year was promoting the town as a great place to safely stay active during the pandemic. This included highlighting our outstanding outdoor activities such as hiking, biking, and golf, as well as being a gateway to nearby water sports. Billboard, print, and video ads were produced and displayed at Sky Harbor and Phoenix Mesa Gateway airports. Print advertising campaigns were executed in regional and national publications. We continued our efforts to develop relationships in Canada, advertising in a Canadian magazine that targets snowbirds. Social media campaigns targeted those relocating from other states, including California and Midwestern markets. The town also created a presence at some of our region's nationally recognized events, such as Barrett Jackson Collector Car Auction, Waste Management Open, and Major League Baseball's spring training. In 2020, Fountain Hills welcomed several new businesses to the community. Sips Eatery, a new cafe eatery located on the southeast corner of Palisades and Avenue of the Fountains. Georgie's, formerly known as Georgie's Diner, relocated to a new space in Parks Place. Papaya Z, a new juice bar crepe restaurant, opened in Park Place. Alexander's Greek Kitchen, a new Greek restaurant on the southwest corner of Saguaro and Parkview. Adero's $100 million expansion, and the completion of the Fountain Hills Medical Center, the town's first hospital and medical center. In February, Mayor Dickey welcomed nearly 100 winter visitors from Canada for a breakfast at the community center. Glenn Williamson, the CEO and founder of the Canada-Arizona Business Council, who is also the honorary consul to Canada, offered comments at the event. This year, the town participated in the decennial census. An accurate census count is vital to ensuring that both Fountain Hills and Arizona are appropriately represented in Congress and receive the appropriate allocation of federal funding for schools, roads, and other important government services. With over 72% of Fountain Hills residents completing the census online, via postcard or over the phone, the town's self-response rate was well above the state average and the 11th highest in the state. Fountain Hills has been featured throughout the year by local media and national publications. In November, a significant feature on the town was published in Business View magazine. The story discussed the business climate, recent developments, and the assets that make Fountain Hills a desirable place to live. These media hits help tell our story to a wide local and national audience, which can potentially help our business growth and tourism as well. We all know that Fountain Hills, and in particular our namesake fountain, provide a stunning backdrop that people come from far and wide to enjoy. We want to allow people to view our world-famous fountain from anywhere in the world, so that all can see just one of the many reasons we love the town. Staff is in the process of installing a webcam that will provide a video stream to both the town and the Experience Fountain Hills websites, so our treasure can be shared with everyone anytime. The town of Fountain Hills contracts with Rural Metro Fire to provide fire and emergency services. The Fountain Hills Rural Metro Fire Department is made up of a dynamic body of men and women who work to ensure the safety of Fountain Hills residents. While the town owns the equipment and fire stations, this relationship has proven to be cost-effective in providing emergency services to our residents. Like all fire departments across the country, Fountain Hills Rural Metro Fire Department has had to respond to and manage coronavirus cases in the community and in its own ranks. Because firefighters are highly trained, they easily adapt to changing circumstances. This includes the crisis response team providing support while maintaining social distancing. Teamed with the fire department and sheriff's office, the crisis response team members are trained volunteers dedicated to providing immediate crisis intervention and on-scene emotional support during and after a traumatic event. Because Santa Claus couldn't be as close to the action as he would have liked, The fire department delivered Santa in a socially distanced manner at the annual Stroll in the Glow event. Even the annual Spooky Blast had a new method for the crews to participate. Make a Difference Day is an important community volunteer event, and many of the fire department employees participated, making more of a difference in the community where they serve. Though some of the activities were impacted by the COVID-19 virus, the fire department accomplished a great number of projects. The town received a Storm Ready designation from the National Weather Service. Working in partnership with the Public Works Department, new fire danger signs have been installed around the town. And Chief Ott and Assistant Chief Mike Winters completed the Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan with Maricopa County Department of Emergency Management. Fire departments are known for keeping their equipment in tip-top shape. According to a national survey of fire departments, the average useful age of a fire truck is nearly 20 years. So this is an exciting year for the Fountain Hills Fire Department as it acquired a new replacement engine for Station Number 2. The town of Fountain Hills contracts with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office to provide law enforcement services. The goal of the department for 2020 was to increase its visibility in the community to serve as a deterrent to individuals with the intent of committing crimes and violating traffic laws. 2020 saw a significant increase in traffic stops over 2019, with more than 700 additional motorists being cited. Other activities that demonstrated the department's mission of increased visibility and engagement included their participation in community outreach and engagement activities, though the pandemic altered how they participated. The department was highly involved in the town's Traffic and Pedestrian Safety Committee and implemented many strategies to help make Fountain Hills safer for pedestrians and motorists. Some of these included adding lighted and flashing stop signs to increase visibility, painting crosswalks to make these locations more visible to pedestrians and drivers alike, as well as realigning some crosswalks for pedestrian safety. Another key Traffic and Pedestrian Safety Committee strategy the Fountain Hills MCSO was highly involved with includes the design and development of designated safety corridors. The safety corridors are designed to help increase pedestrian and vehicle safety in areas of town that have experienced high volumes of vehicular traffic, speeding, and traffic accidents. The Fountain Hills MCO Sheriff's Office will continue to work towards increasing its community presence in 2021. The Fountain Hills Community Services Department saw many dramatic changes in our community and in the world around us. Last year, Fountain Hills began a year of festivities commemorating the 50th anniversary of the namesake fountain. As part of the milestone celebration, the department took on the challenge of replacing the fountain lighting system in and around the lake. The new energy-efficient color-changing LED lighting system features 4 lights mounted directly under the fountain and 6 lights on the shore for a total of 10 lights to provide ample lighting and still meet the dark skies regulations. The engineering firm of Black & Veatch conducted an analysis of the lake, liner, fountain, pumps, motors, electrical system, and irrigation system. This in-depth study will help determine the current condition and cost for replacement of major systems supporting the lake and operation of the fountain. The community center is home to senior programs, several support groups, and the home-delivered meals program. More than 1,300 members are active participants in a variety of these activities. The year began with a full slate of activities. Along with weekly scheduled programs, special presentations attracted a large number of participants. On January 4th of 2020, the first ever Fountain Hills Boss of the Toss Cornhole Tournament was held at the Fountain Hills Community Center. The event was so successful that this tournament is being planned for every year moving forward. Though activities and services were suspended in the spring, and then some activities were offered with limited participation in types of programs, the members were happy to return, whether in person or virtually. The Hooks and Needles ladies were very productive during this downtime, producing 3,365 items that they donated to Veterans, Native Health, Crisis Center, and Life Pregnancy Center. Due to the restrictions of social gathering, the Community Services Department programmed new and successful programs which inspired the community to participate in safe, fun, and active programs. On Friday, October 30th, the first ever Fountain Hills Spooky Blast was held at the Fountain Hills Community Center. The idea for this event was to offer a free event for our kids and families due to the annual Halloween in the Hills event being canceled. This was a socially distanced event, and we made the proper adjustments to make sure the participants were safe. Social distancing was the key to the successful 30th annual Turkey Trot on Thanksgiving morning. The 5K run and walk event was limited in participation, and no activities were held where participants had to gather. Despite the major changes to the event to protect participants, the 2020 Turkey Trot was a major success. Volunteers are what make Fountain Hills so special. The annual Make a Difference Day is an opportunity to give back to our community and help those who need it the most. And more than 270 volunteers participated in the day-long event on Saturday, October 24th. Volunteers undertook a number of projects, including yard cleanups, shrub and tree plantings, and minor external home repairs. This day truly made a difference for many residents in need. Thanks to the dedication of nearly 200 volunteers, the Home Delivered Meals program delivered 5,215 meals this last year. This was an increase of 1,653 meals over the previous year. The town of Fountain Hills offers 5 parks with over 119 acres of developed open space and 824 acres of mountain preserve with 2 trailheads and 8 miles of trail. Toll Brothers Home Construction, developers of Adero Canyon Custom Homes, paved the last mile of road access to the trailhead in November. The new road allows for easy access for residents and visitors to the trailhead. Thanks to a grant from the Arizona Sports and Tourism Authority, a new basketball court featuring 3 basketball goals and 10-foot-high fencing with windscreens and bleachers were installed at Four Peaks Park. Through staff innovation and creativity resulting in budgetary savings, additional grant funds were allocated to add a shaded picnic area as well. Other improvements and maintenance projects occurred at the town's parks, including at Golden Eagle Park, the baseball field was renovated and the existing turf was repurposed in 2 other parks. At Fountain Park, through a partnership with Fountain Hills Sanitary District, 2 new restroom buildings were added to the park that feature dog drinking fountains, ADA accessibility, and filtered bottle-filling drinking stations. Four Peaks Park continued with a multi-year renovation project that includes a new playground, basketball courts, renovated restrooms, turf improvements, and improved walking paths. Lighting from the previous basketball court was repurposed to provide lighting at the playground. The playground is surrounded by boulders donated from the Adero Canyon project. And many other new projects and upgrades can be found on the department's website at fh.az.gov/community services. The Town of Fountain Hills website and social media platforms are a trusted resource for all the information on programs and services provided by town departments. Follow the town on any of these social media sites or go to www.fh.az.gov to find what you are looking for.
With all the pandemic limitations, I remain in awe of what our staff was able to accomplish. Monumental tasks, even under normal conditions. As we look to the future, there's no question that maintaining and expanding services and opportunities are primary to our town's success. Whether through strong public safety and economic development programs, keeping up with our property and municipal building needs, parks and open spaces, or building an environment that residents feel represents their wants and needs, the town will further identify the ways that this can happen, including continue to prepare for the next rainy day through planning and financial management, fiscally sound decisions, applying for grants, and addressing short-term budget fluctuations based upon pandemic impacts, such as state shared revenues, HERF funding, sales and income tax revenues likely to take a hit over the next couple of years. To advocate for more regional programs that support Fountain Hills goals. Also, with guidance from the general plan, explore the impacts of undeveloped land, whether infill or state trust land, on future housing and business options. Staying ahead of the curve on our town's most valuable assets, roads and buildings, seeking again reliable funding solutions. Identifying amenities for the growing expectations from residents of all ages, recognizing the vital role of volunteers and our commissions. Hiring and retaining the best staff, as we did this year, addressing communications, economic development, building and code enforcement, community relations, and regional representation, including the mayor and council. So we're at the table for transportation plans, flight path changes, ensuring local decision-making, short-term rental, neighborhood preservation, and pandemic issues, including CARES funding, testing, and vaccine distribution. looking at housing opportunities, and being an accessible, welcoming community, and guaranteeing that our signature fountain lasts another 50 years. Overall, we're determined to continue moving forward with vibrant activities and growth, excited to explore opportunities, a balance of a thriving economy while preserving our treasured hometown quality of life. Thank you, as always, to staff, our former council members, Brown, LaCrone, and Tolis, our current council, Friedel, Grzybowski, Magazine, McMahon, Charno, and our Vice Mayor Spelvich. To the Chamber and our sponsors, the creative talents who put all this together, coordinating with our Bo Larson, the Times, businesses, visitors, and of course our residents who chose Fountain Hills to be their hometown, as I did 37 years ago. Living as families do, with ups and downs, but emerging stronger. I hope you will join us in support of our efforts, unified and determined to keep Fountain Hills moving forward. Now we're going to hear from our generous organizers and sponsors. I want to thank you very much, and please have a wonderful, happy New Year.
Hi, I am Linda Brady. I work in local government relations for SRP, and Fountain Hills is one of the cities and towns that I cover. Well, like Fountain Hills and the mayor and council and the chamber, SRP has also been going through the hardship and tragedy that everyone else has this past year. So SRP has been trying to remain focused on providing reliable, affordable, and sustainable water and power to all of our communities, including Fountain Hills. And partnerships with those communities is more than important, especially now, and for those individuals and communities that are still struggling financially. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for providing opportunities such as this. It's not often that we get to hear directly from our elected officials, and hearing from Mayor Dickey and what has been happening in the town and what is going to continue, what she'll be focusing on in the future, is so important. And SRP is really honored to be able to sponsor an event such as this so that people have those opportunities to be involved in their town.
Hi, we're Mark and Bridget Bierman. We are the co-founders of the GO program, and we live right here in Fountain Hills. You know, one of the things that COVID has done is it's drastically impacted a lot of people, employers in particular. And, you know, I just have to commend Fountain Hills for, you know, hanging in there. And a lot of it has to do because of the mayor and everybody in this community. And we're actually proud to live in Fountain Hills too, be part of this community. And it's great watching the employers in this town adjust or navigate what COVID has done to their business. You know, obviously some have been really negatively impacted, but others have also rose to the occasion to take advantage of COVID in a good way. But you know, and that's what makes Fountain Hills just unique. There's just a great variety of people, businesses, and everything here, and couldn't be more proud to look forward to 2021 and what 2021 has to bring for us all.
Good afternoon. My name is Deb Carmichael. I'm the Director of Community Relations for Morningstar of Fountain Hills. Morningstar, our community, is an age 55 plus community with 63 assisted living suites and 28 that are dedicated and secure for our folks with memory impairment. We're located right off of Saguaro and Paul Norden Parkway. Two other programs that we do offer are concierge living for the person that's a little bit more independent, and secondly, our Wayfinder program. That's for our residents in assisted living that are experiencing some memory impairment. And this is a program that's 7 days a week for them. The reason that I chose to sponsor this event among the rest of the events that we are sponsoring at Morningstar through the end of 2021 is because of how the chamber here is run, how it's managed, how it's continuing education, and actually for me, it's really the center of the town.
I'm Karen Anderson with HS3 Roof King. HS3 Roof King is a full-service general contracting firm with a division dedicated to residential and commercial roofing and another division dedicated to remodeling. I believe that 2021 will give us the opportunity to deepen our community relationships, meaning the town, the businesses, and the residents. That is something that makes Fountain Hills unique. We are a small town on the outskirts of a very large metropolitan area, and our small town sense of community is something that sets us apart.
Last but certainly not least, we have our final fountain sponsor for today's event. Art Tolis of Tolis Financial Group is here with us today, and Art served as a council member for many, many years. So first, Art, we'd like to thank you for your service. We so appreciate you, and we'd like to let the audience know more about Art and your company and Tolis Financial Group. So if you could share with the audience more about your business.
Tolis Mortgage Financial Group was established in 2002. My first office was on Parkside in Fountain Hills, and been in the mortgage business since 1993. Residential mortgage brokerage company serving all of Arizona. Purchase loans, refinance loans, cash out refinance, debt consolidation. My office is on the corner of Palisades and Saguaro, and I love serving clients in Fountain Hills, but we service all of Arizona.
And as a previous town council member, you definitely have a unique perspective on the State of the Town address, and I would love for you to share what the State of the Town address represents for our community.
Well, I think it represents the vision of the mayor, the vision of the town council, and that it shares what direction we're going as a community. The Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the town, needs to have a strong relationship. We have to build business in town. I believe the town has to have vibrancy. You have to have that energy in the community, that people want to be part of our community, and we are a tight-knit community. And this is the vision that hopefully is represented as to where we're going and how we're going to get there. I vision Fountain Hills, and I've always said we should be the Beverly Hills of Arizona, and businesses in the downtown area and surrounding all the restaurants. We have one of the top hotels now with a Darrow Canyon that I was part of that agreement and development agreement on the town council. So I'm, like you say, very familiar with how we've gotten where we are now. And then we have Fort McDowell, which is a great partnership, and we need to capitalize on those two draws for our community and help the downtown to be an entertainment district, something that people want to invest their money in Fountain Hills. And sales tax revenues are very important for Fountain Hills and the revenue of our community. So it's important that we have these type of events and that the mayor does this State of the Union, so to speak, State of the Town, and it shares the vision of the community.
Well, great. Well, thank you for being a sponsor. Thank you for always being passionate about our town and our Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you very much.